Listen, I cannot say this enough, but I really want to appeal to all you truck drivers out there, especially you ladies. People are looking to come into this industry. They're thinking about coming to your company, and you hold the key to their future success. You got to get on here, guys. YouTube is starting to push out the content of small creators. Why not be a small creator who is a truck driver talking about a day in your life, talking about the challenges, the highs, the lows? Tell us what your experiences are. Document it on YouTube so that you can get your channel monetized and make this passive income. Somebody is waiting to hear from you today. Just click, record, and share. All right, y'all, I am out here in the cold. I just finished inspecting those trucks right there. There's going to be some others that are going to be coming in about 5 or 10 minutes so I can finish my inspections, and then I am heading to the classroom for part 2 of the instructor's class training, and then we'll be going out on the pad. How y'all doing this morning, YouTube? Y'all, I'm just so happy to be back on YouTube, and I hope some of you drivers, sorry for the noise, but that's somebody's APU generator. But I'm just so happy to be able to be back on this platform because I've been away for a while. A lot of things have happened in my life, such as, you know, the loss of my husband, the loss of my mother, the loss of my daughter 21 years ago, and she would have turned 39 years old yesterday. She was killed by a drunk driver right in front of her high school. And as horrific as that sounds, it changed my life. The guy that killed her was sentenced to 13 years. He didn't have to do 13 years. That's just what his sentence was. But nonetheless, I will always, always, always tell people about her, because that is the promise that I made to her when she was killed, that I would never let anybody forget her, and I never did. Hey, y'all, the reason I brought this up is because I want to tell you that while you are out there and you're building your career, you're traveling all over the country, the days start to mend into each other, right? And while you're living your life on the road, everybody in your family is still living their lives. Your friends are still living their lives. And you got to be able to stay in control of yourself in case something happens at home. And it's going to take a great deal of strength. I want you to be prepared for something. If something happens at home and you got to get back to your family, no matter who it is, be ready for the fact that most likely your fleet manager or your dispatcher is going to have to route you back home. That is going to be the toughest part. It's not like you hear something happen to your family member and all of a sudden they're going to fly you on a plane and it's just going to be that quick. It is not going to be that quick, and that is going to be the challenging part. When my daughter was killed, I was a local driver in California, so I hadn't even left the yard when this happened to her. And that was very convenient because I was able to just go to the parking lot, get in my car, and go to the hospital. I got there in 10 minutes. It was a 20-minute drive, y'all. And the anxiety of all of this that I'm talking about, multiply it by what the expression you're seeing on my face right now. It is going to be stressful. And if it's so stressful for you that you cannot focus, take some time to park your truck, take a deep breath. You will get through it, and just talk yourself out of the anxiety that you're feeling, because it is going to be heartbreaking to know that you can't get to your people. Like if you work a local job, most likely you can get to them pretty quickly. I remember times when things have happened with my kids and I had to get myself home and I would have to pull the whole truck up to the house or the whole truck up to their school. So if you're a local driver, this is not as challenging as it's going to be for those of you who are out on the road. Just remember, safety first, okay? Safety first. You know, every time I come out here, if you can see behind me on this training pad, I look at this freeway and I just remember all the years that I spent out there on those highways, and I'm always wanting to go back to trucking. You will never get tired of driving a truck if that's something that you're passionate about. These drivers here at Prime have helped us to develop a impeccable safety record. And when I say that, we have just made, again, for the 10th year in a row, the Best Fleets to Drive For Hall of Fame, y'all. That is such an accomplishment, and it says so much about what's going on with people's lives. And the thing is, when you're going through stress, even in a stressful time, you have got to remain calm, because being stressed out is never going to be the answer. It's never going to help you. It's not going to help the motoring public. It's not going to help your company. You still have a job to do. I will give you another for instance that happened. And this wasn't a tragic situation, and it did not happen here at the company that I'm working for, Prime Inc. in Springfield, Missouri. I was at Swift. My husband only has one son, and his son was getting married. And I remember telling my fleet manager, it was probably about 2 months in advance. I put it on the Qualcomm that I need this date off, and I made sure that that date was for the day before he actually was going to get married. So what I did was 2 months out, then 6 weeks closer, I reminded my fleet manager again. At 1 month from his wedding, I reminded him again. Then 3 weeks, I reminded him again, and we're down to the last week, and I'm on the other side of the country. Based on where I was at, I knew that I wasn't going to make it, because they had just routed me to get closer, but I was not even close enough to take a 34-hour reset. That's where you have to reset your hours when you start running out of hours. And we'll talk about managing your clock another time, but it got to the point where I was 3 days away, and there's no way that I was going to make it. So I call dispatch and I tell them what's going on, and I said, hey, and I'm literally crying on the phone. I'm more upset about this than my husband was, because he was just a calm person. And for me, all I could think about was, this is your only son, and you can't even make it because they screwed up. And it wasn't because I didn't keep them informed. So always when you're planning to go on an emergency or home time or whatever, and you've got a doctor's appointment, while you are planning those things, make sure that you plan to arrive at your location that you need to take off in the day before. You don't want to put down the day that you have that doctor's appointment. It's either going to be the day before or 2 days before that. And then right after your appointment, unless you have a full week off or whatever you have planned, then you're going to stay home. But if it's an emergency and you're just going to, or you need to get to an appointment, you want to make sure you give them enough advance notice and always follow up. Have a written trail on your geotab, your whatever type of onboard computer system that you have, and use it for your benefit. Now, let's just talk about communicating with your fleet manager in general. That is the most important relationship that you are going to have during your trucking career. I'm specifically talking to those of you who you are regional or you are over the road. You need to be in communication with that person. Not only are they responsible for getting you your loads, they're responsible for getting you your loads that pay well. Having a great relationship with that person is only going to serve you. Many times when you're over the road or regional, they may need you to do a favor. Please do not be that driver that turns down loads. You are only hurting yourself when you do that, because now you have lost trust in your fleet manager. And if you're in the first year of your driving career, establishing that trust is going to be important. That person that you are depending on to get your loads, to pay your salary, your bills, help you pay your bills, that person is going to be life. And while you are building in that first year, you should really plan on being a runner. You're not turning down any loads. You're not saying, nope, I'm not going over there because, or whatever your reason is. If you turn down loads, you're decreasing the amount of money that you could possibly make. Sometimes you'll have to take a lesser paying load so you can get to an area where the higher paying loads are. So communicating with your fleet manager is going to be important. I don't know what company you're going to be working for, but whatever company you're working for, be sure that you connect with people within your company and other drivers that are out there, and let those drivers know that you want to build a network. If you build a network, I'm talking about establishing friendships with people in your company who are already more successful than you. If you hang around those drivers who are complaining about this and that, and they're saying that they're not getting the best loads, or my fleet manager this, or my fleet manager, stay away from those people, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to become just like them, because you got that person in your ear and it's hurting your experience at your company. You didn't come in this to lose money. You came in this so that you can be successful. And so pick friends in your network who are A, positive, B, about their business, C, courteous, kind, and professional. Who you hang around is absolutely going to be the person that influences your choices out on the road. So make sure that as you're building your network of friends, you're building a network of people who love what they do. And even if the company that you're working for is giving you challenges, your role in all of that is to communicate to your company that you are the driver who is the professional. You want to establish yourself no matter where you are, even if you don't feel appreciated. Do your job and do it well, because if at any time you decide to go somewhere else and train, or somewhere else and drive, you are going to want that reputation from that previous company to follow you to where you currently are. Now, what kind of reputation is that going to be? I hope that it's going to be positive. Another thing, you want to get really good at using the onboard computer on your truck. Being able to communicate to your roadside service person, being able to communicate to your fleet manager and other departments that directly affect you out on the road is going to be huge in terms of you getting better. In the beginning, you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to have to call your fleet manager for help. I did. Guys, driving locally is 100% different than driving all over the country, managing time zones, weather, traffic in every state. So you want to get really good at being able to, in advance, when you see you're going to be delayed delivering your load or picking up your load because of traffic or weather, communicate to your fleet manager or your dispatcher that there is an issue. Not talking about it and thinking, I can make it, I can still make it. It puts pressure on you to be better. It puts pressure on you and you'll be making mistakes. That's what I meant to say.
So, plan ahead, plan to be, especially on
Out here on the training pad with the instructors. There's lots of movement out here at Prime today. We're all trying to get it in. Love it, love it, love the smell of diesel, baby. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. Bye. It is the end of the day and I am so tired. There's this rail guy working on this railroad track and he's blocking the road, y'all. I'm so tired. I know when I get home, it's eat, shower. I'm probably gonna go to bed early. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Be safe out there, drivers. I live alone, thank God. If I had to be raising kids right now, I would be upset. Seriously. I don't know how you feel when you're grocery shopping, but me personally these days, I'm just really annoyed at the cost of food, snacks, things that you should be able to enjoy without, I don't know, thinking about the price. And I'm thinking about drivers right now who not only are managing a lifestyle out on the road, but you gotta live, you gotta eat, you gotta take care of yourself, both on the road and at home. And I could just imagine what it feels like when y'all are shopping at these grocery stores. And that depends on where you are, right? This makes entirely no sense. I gotta get these. It's my one guilty pleasure, y'all, is Nutter Butters. They are my favorites. That is my one sweet thing that I allow to be in my home. But y'all, make sure you find the deals, because this is ridiculous. Thank God I don't have no kids right now that I'm trying to raise, because this right here